All right, guys, welcome to today's Local Yokels podcast. I'm Neil Colley, your host, and I just want to kind of give you a quick reminder about our sponsor, RoofWorks Roofing. You can reach them at roofworksmidsouth.com. And as always, I want to put a little bit of a promo for Fancy Nancy Foundation as we're giving away a Jeep starting here real quickly. You can go to the website, FancyNancyFoundation.com, and get you a ticket for like $20. It's a real cool, jacked up Jeep, a Rubicon, helped in part brought to you by Spider Off-Road, RoofWorks, CNC Trucking. Lots of different places gotten involved to help us promote this, and it's all going to help support Domestic Violence House here in DeSoto County and the region. House of Grace is the primary focus for us, supporting them ongoing and also bringing awareness. Say something. If you see something, say something, do something. You know what I mean? So it's going to be really cool. I'm going to have Derek prompt a picture and as I'm talking about it, so we'll get on that. But however, my guest today, kind of a very cool one I've been looking forward to because I got introduced to you from my friend Sandy Marbury. Mm-hmm. You met her. Oh, yeah. And I was like, well, I know her. I think I know her. And Sandy was like, yeah, you do. Her son, Jim. So, and anyway, I have Miss Kathleen LoSapio and Mr. Michael Lee from the DeSoto County Agri-Education Center. And Miss Kathleen is the Master Gardener.
Yes, I am. Y'all welcome. DeSoto County.
Welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Yes.
Miss Kathleen, we'll start off with you. Let's talk a little bit about your role with the DeSoto County Agri Center, and we got this new facility we want to talk about today and what it brings to the locals, and what your role in that is.
Sure. Mm-hmm. I'm a DeSoto County Master Gardener. This is my third state that I've become a Master Gardener in.
Where was the previous states, just to be clear?
The first one was Minnesota. And the second one was Texas. And there was always a limit to how many volunteers we could get in our student class of 50.
Right.
Right now, we don't have that problem, and we're trying to build up the Master Gardener program.
So that's it, people. If you are listening today, what Miss Kathleen's here for is to talk about. She's wanting people to come in and help educate them, and they need volunteers. So reach out to her when she prompts the information or the show, whatever. I can get you in contact with her. But they need volunteers, folks. So if you're interested in gardening or learning whatever, and I'm sure there's quite a bit of information you can give them.
Yes, there is. Our classes start in March. They run through April. It goes from 8 to 8:30 in the morning start time. It varies on who we have coming in until 12:30 in the afternoon. And I have had a lot of people say to me, why do I need all that information? Well, it's better to know if someone comes to you, your neighbor, whoever, and says, my tree's dying, what's the problem?
Sure.
And you know from your pesticide experience as a student that pesticides and herbicides are good, but you have to use them right. And if you think, I'm just going to put a few more.
Do you see these thumbs, Kathleen? I think they're black. When it comes to dealing with greenery, they are black.
But we could change that.
Yeah, I probably could education-wise.
He has a class. Yeah.
Absolutely, you have a class. So your
and we have a location.
And a location.
That's right.
So your part is help educate the public.
Yes.
I mean, you don't have to be an expert, folks. If you just want to learn, or if you are, like Miss Kathleen, and very knowledgeable about the subject, I'm sure she would welcome that as well.
Yes. And just because you might know a little bit about gardening, we give you that leg up.
Yeah.
So that you will learn more. You will influence your friends.
Neighbors, family members, church, family, everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you also will make a lot of friends with the Master Gardeners.
Yeah.
We're a friendly group of people. If you're into herbs, we've got an herb group. If you're into vegetables, we've got a vegetable group. Anybody in our facility can answer that question. Plus, we have extension agents that help with 4-H. And our extension agent is Matt Thornton. And he actually will go to people's houses if they're having problems with their ponds, with their trees.
That's good because, ponds are an issue around here. They turn over, lots of problems. So, so you have an educational factor on that. It's not just gardening, but it's the whole part of having a homestead, so to speak.
And the Master Gardener program was started after the homestead universities were established in the United States. And the homestead universities were set up originally to help people with their agriculture.
Okay.
To get them more established.
Yeah, get rid of those black thumbs. like that's the thing. I mean, I say that, man, I'm telling you right now, if you gave me the most healthy plant in the world, it'd be dead in a week.
You're not alone.
I think that's most of it. So yeah, absolutely. But y'all create an environment to where people, first of all, it's probably fun. It's educational. And if you don't know this, Miss Kathleen's son owns a few restaurants. She might even take you to lunch or something at some point in time if you really got involved. Let's talk about that a little bit. You are in DeSoto County because of your son, Jim,
Yes.
and his family. He is a restaurateur in the local community, owns multiple restaurants, Junior's in Hernando, and Lucky Dog in Silo Square, Mesquite
Dale's.
Chop House in Snowden Grove, and Dale's in South Haven.
Yes.
All amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
So shout out to Jim for investing in our community, and he does a great job supporting them as well. Anybody that knows Jim knows that he's just always welcoming people and helping them, and he probably gets that from you.
Well, I like to think he does.
And his dad. Yeah. Big Jim. So.
But the Master Gardener program helps people go out. They have the right information to go out and educate people.
Yeah.
So it's a giving type relationship in that you're going to a school and maybe helping kids learn how to grow vegetables, or you're going to a garden center to help people pick out plants that grow in the right spot, because there is a phrase, right plant, right spot.
That's right.
And you don't plant an oak tree under a power line.
No, I didn't even know that. See, why you would do that? Yeah, because it'll strike it.
No,
they'll cut it down.
No, they'll cut it down.
Oh, they will.
Yeah,
I got
they
you.
have the right to come on your property and trim those trees, and they do not sharpen their saw blades.
Yeah, I believe that.
They're kind of splintery looking.
They just recently did that to my property, so I'm aware of that. I didn't know why. I guess I was just thinking keeping them off there.
No, it's just a function of they don't want to come back and fix those power lines in a wind condition or weather condition.
Always a limb leaching out to I got it. And around here, we have a variety of trees and plants that'll grow in this zone, as you would call it, because that is something people don't realize what zone we're in for certain plants, and I'm aware of that part. But
yes, absolutely. And we can help people find the right plant. I mean, you can go to the store and find a lot of plants from, forgive me, Lord, Monrovian Gardens out of California. Well, they're going to look good in the ground right now, but they're not going to make it through the winter.
They will not make it through the winter.
They won't make it through the summer, probably.
Yeah, the heat is just intense here.
But we grow beautiful hydrangeas. I mean, there are a lot of beautiful plants that we grow. Magnolias are majestic.
Yes. State tree.
Yep.
Flower, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, something. I do know a little bit of something. I think my dad, man, he had the greenest thumb in the world, and I never knew where he got that from. Probably somebody taught him when he was a youngster.
Sure.
Somebody that was
grandparents.
They just knew things back then.
He was hungry, man.
Everybody, right? And that's the thing. Everybody had to grow their own food.
Raise their own chickens.
Absolutely.
I was raised like that.
Yeah.
Here.
So So that generation is gone. So you're trying to bring that back for the youngsters, not necessarily youngsters. I mean, it could be somebody that's elderly or whatever that just never learned and want to have a beautiful flower garden in their yard or plant their own little vegetables to eat.
People are worried about pesticides on plants. You don't know what kind of pesticides or things they're putting on fruits and vegetables.
I'm so dumb. I'll go in there and just grab an apple, potato, whatever. I don't wash it. I'm just going to it. My wife's like, did you wash that before you, there's a reason why you need to be doing that stuff. So you'll educate people in that process. And I thank you for your service, because I know it is a passion for you to be involved in this. It is. And it is a lot of work.
It is, and we've got a state conference coming up. If people don't necessarily want to become master gardeners, they can come to the Agri Center, and they can find out what it's like to be a master gardener by going and hearing our speakers.
Okay.
There is a fee to attend, and I'll have that information on the website.
Okay.
But we've got phenomenal speakers. We're going to have some fun things. We're going to have a photo booth type experience when they come.
Okay.
So they can have their picture taken like you'd have in the old-fashioned dime store photo booth.
Very cool.
We're going to have bingo for plants, of course.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have phenomenal vendors that you won't it's a lot of vendors in a small space is the beauty of it.
Fantastic. Yeah. So there again, another thing that they offer through the Agri-Center, the new Agri-Center, and when we talk about this, a lot of people don't know about it, just probably because its location is kind of tucked away. So, and I move over to you, Mr. Michael. We'll talk about that a little bit on its location, how it came about, your role in it, et cetera, et cetera.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, man, I'll tell you, thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah,
we appreciate this to promote the Ag Center. It's actually, and I'm going to say that's 1170 Star Landing Road West.
Okay.
And I'm going to say it again because people kind of miss it. 1170 Star Landing Road West.
West, that's right. Closer to 51.
Yeah, GPS will send you in different directions.
It does.
I think, so.
It does.
But actually, that used to be an old landfill.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's where everybody carried their garbage, dumped their garbage for years and years. And, of course, you can't penetrate the cap of it. So it's built there. But there was a location that was on 200 acres.
Yeah.
So, to wrap it up, the board of supervisors, I actually was involved in that. It's been going on for about 15 years. Or maybe a little longer, to
the planning stages,
repurpose this facility.
Repurpose it, gather the money, save the money. And for you citizens that want to know what they are doing, that's what they're doing with your money, is they're trying to plan community centers. They're trying to combine, just like this. This is an amazing gift to the community.
Absolutely.
It really is. That they paid for sure.
Yeah.
But there's going to be amazing walking trails we talked about.
It does our heart so good to see people using these walking trails, and they're nice walking trails. I mean, there was a grant involved in the walking trail process of it, and it's when it's completed, which it almost is. The only thing that's not is the front where they're widening the Star Landing.
Sure.
3.5 miles.
3.5 miles. And Miss Kathleen, you're probably helping with beautification of this area.
Yes, our extension agent has been asked to help pick out plants, yes.
Yes, and of course, picking out the right ones that are probably
going to
live, not cut you when you walk by them or any of that stuff. So there's a science to it all.
And the beauty of working with the county is we don't have to dig the holes.
That's true. Right. They got some labor.
You're looking at him.
You got him, Michael's going to be out there as a post hole digger.
Hey, we had a grant, the tree grant that came in, and we had 300 trees and plants, not just trees, and that we had to plant, and I was involved in that.
Wow.
And I'm like,
did you have Ray Dennison by chance on a pair of post hole diggers?
Ray, but he would. I'm not going to say he would.
I believe Ray would. Ray's a worker, man.
I mean, if you take our supervisors, all of them, and I'm going to name them, you got Lee Caldwell, you got Mark Gardner, you got Ray Dennison, you got Jesse Medlin, who's been there for 34 years.
I noticed recently he's the new chair.
Yeah,
and
he just took over
Ray
as
is the
board
assistant chair.
That's
or
right.
board president. Yes.
Right.
I don't want to make a mistake.
And now we have Robert Foster, and you know what he does. I mean, he's got it. Every one of them brings something to the table. You had Bill Russell when I was there.
Yeah, that's my good friend Bill. Shout out to Bill. I know you're going to be watching this. I'm going to send it to you. Me and him was talking last night about football. About the amazing games we just witnessed in the last couple of days. Heartbreaker for Ole Miss. So that's the timeline we're filming this right now, guys. We're about 2 days removed from that, and I don't know if anybody can beat Indiana after watching that game last night. I think they're a shoe in at this point.
I came from the Midwest. I was
there you go.
I hope they take it all.
Miss you around here.
What could I say?
I know, right?
Amazing team.
You're in DeSoto County now.
I love the fact that they're such a story of never have, and now they are.
Right.
It's just a super success story. Ole Miss was obviously that for us, and we were hoping, But, I would like to see some new blood there. It's amazing, So.
Well, what happened in baseball? You had Ole Miss, then you had State, won the national title. Right. So, it can be done. So.
It can be done. Yeah. And I think now with the NIL, for sure it can be done because there's a way to it, and getting the right players and the coaches in the right place. So
there we got off on sports talk show here.
Oh, we did, but it's part of our culture. It is. And it ties in a little bit with what you do because obviously at the Agri Center, and we were just talking about this before the show, you and me, Michael, before Miss Kathleen showed up, about how the rodeos, those animals are athletes. In the biggest way. The bulls are some of the most amazing stars of any show.
Just go look at them, and
they're majestic.
I was telling you earlier, I'd done a little tour with a famous person around here. Yeah. We saw Jerry Lee Lewis, and we saw Bodacious out in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow, and you heard about Bodacious, but I'm telling you, there are these bulls earn points.
Oh, man,
that's how they get to where they are,
Yes.
So they're earning points the same time as the riders are, and the bullfighters and everything. So.
Absolutely. And with that, talk about some of the things with the new Agri Center. I know that it was a huge investment and took years and years of planning and saving to get it is. And I'm going over today. When we get done with this show, I'm going because y'all are currently having an event today with the motocross program over there. They're having races and cool guys. I know
Mid-South
Motocross. It's going to be hindsight at this point when you see the show, but this is just some of the things. It's not just a rodeo grounds. It's not just a gardening center. It's not, there's so many avenues of opportunity for the locals to enjoy this facility.
Yeah, we'll back up. So we've been open. Actually, we opened in June. We had the ribbon cutting in June, so we took occupancy sometime in that area. We're located in the city of South Haven district, but it's right across is Hernando and Nesbitt.
Yep.
So it's a combination of
Horn
everybody.
Lake on the other side. It's a real central located.
Olive Branch. You got Olive Branch.
Yes.
So we're here for everybody in this county. And so we want everyone to come enjoy this facility. It sits on 200 acres.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. We're going to have walking trails, hiking trails. We're going to have horse riding trails.
That's awesome.
We have open ride nights. We're fixing to move them to possibly every night where you can come and ride in the indoor covered arena. I'm at the outdoor covered arena, and then to enjoy that. But it's not just an equine. I mean, we just had the livestock show, which wow, that was great. We had over. I think 400. When I say livestock, we're talking about chickens, we're talking about rabbits, sheep, goat, cows, and that was amazing. And that was the extension office.
And that's my heart.
That's your heart.
I grew up in 4-H.
I was raised.
Is this why Jim has a plethora of goats and pigs at any given time?
Yeah. No, that's steakhouse.
Oh yeah.
I go down there one time and I'm like, Jim, why you got so many goats, man? They're great for cleaning and harvesting. And he's like,
put a goat anywhere and they'll eat everything. Clean to take it out quick.
And he has a beautiful place down there too that he has to keep up. So I get the goats the need for them. But they'll eat the porch too if you let them.
Don't lay your hat down.
Now got guineas and turkeys and
everything
and ducks.
Oh my goodness! So and hogs.
Well, the hogs they're in the freezer.
They come and go.
Hey, I'll tell you a quick story. I grew up on Ranch Road South. Talk about raising, and that's what's important here. That's what we need to get back to. The important part about master gardeners and about we grew up that way.
Yes.
These kids today, they're growing up on their cell phones and their iPads, and they're not paying attention to what's going on as far. And look at the prices of food.
It is.
And look at the health of food. Yeah. So that's what we're trying to do, bring a healthy lifestyle back there.
I grew up and, I'm a little bit junior of y'all, just a little bit, but still, I grew up in 4-H and ag. I don't even know if they have ag classes anymore in the schools. Do they?
They do. They did in Texas. I don't know.
Well, that's part of it.
Right.
That's what we're bringing back. Mississippi State.
But in the classroom,
office,
though, that's one thing that disappeared.
FFA.
FFA. I was a member of all that. That's highly important stuff, and that's what the Agri Center, I think, is designed to start trying to bring back to the people here.
Absolutely.
Get the youngsters interested in having their own livestock.
Well, let them know what it's like to sit in the middle of a vegetable patch and eat a tomato.
Yeah, that's raw out of the ground.
Oh.
With no pesticides. Yes, absolutely.
And here's the deal. We have local people here that they can hook you up with. They can have a cow. You don't have to go on have 10 acres, 15 acres on a cow.
Exactly.
Sarita Johnson and Mac Johnson, they'll let you have one of their cows and calves and raise it and take care of it and learn how to and bring it to the shows. I mean, and we have a bunch of that around here.
And there's a lot of pride with youngsters when they start showing animals and they know that they had a hand in raising it.
It helps their self-esteem.
Absolutely, man. So I remember all that. Some of my dearest friends, and when I first seen them do it, I'm like, why the effort? Well, because it was a sense of accomplishment, the self-esteem, the pride that goes into having this animal and taking care of it for a year to 2 years, whatever it may be, raising it, right food, nutrition, everything. It's really amazing to watch the growth. And to this day, those individuals are some of the most responsible people I know. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They actually matured into 50-year-olds now, of course, they're still just on that. That's how they live their lives, and so it's a very good way to bring your children up. And
absolutely.
And like I said, I was close to it. Had a few animals here and there throughout my times. I was, like I told you, between animals and plants, I was not good. I was not good. I could use your class right now, Miss Kathleen, probably. So, however, the program itself, and we want to give a good, thankful shout out to not only the current Board of Supervisors, but the past ones, because we know, like you said, it's been 15 years, you know, and we talk about how long it took to get it to where it's at now. And now it's here. Yeah. And you're so proud to be a part of it. And you want to showcase it to all the DeSoto County citizens and invite them down to take a look. What's some of the things you got coming up, say in like the end of January, 1st of February, so people can look forward to that?
Okay. So, well, right now, let's talk about tonight.
Okay.
So right now we have, and I was there till yesterday, till late last night at Mid-South Motocross.
Okay.
They came in, and of course the arena, we call it the arena dirt, which is, the footing.
It's a special dirt.
Have you seen what we did? Did you go in there and see the arena? You have to go see that. So, it's an arena.
Yeah.
All right. And then, of course, we don't have a concrete floor. Yeah. And the guys from the motocross guy says, now, you can't bring any of this special dirt. This is footing for horses, barrel racing horses, bull riding, And they said, oh, don't worry about that. We do this all over the country. We're going to come in, send our guys in, and we're going to use your dirt. Yeah. Well, I remember how much dirt was brought in there to begin with. Yeah. And it's special dirt. It has a mixture of clay sand. Anyway, so they got these two Bobcats in there, buddy, and they got to working, and I went, oh, no.
They're tearing it up.
They're tearing it up. But he said, we're going to put it back just like we found it. But these kids, they're from 3 years old to I think 20.
Right.
And that's not technically a kid, but 3 years old to 20. But you should see this. We watched it last night. They're pre-qualifying right now. They're going to start pre-qualifying at 2:30. You go to bull ridings and you go to rodeos, you have got to come see this. And these are locals, man. Yeah. But these people come, they got Florida people coming in here.
Right, it brings a lot of folks from outside.
And they can stay at the site.
And eat at our restaurants.
There's a campground there.
You have a campground there as well.
Yeah, and it's loaded,
Yes.
So, but anyway, we watched them and I went, oh my gosh, I mean, this is just unreal. So that's 2:30. They start pre-qualifying again, but the actual show with the race starts from the doors open at 6, and then it starts at 7. So you can come up there. Ticket sales. We got concessions going on.
All day event.
Oh yeah, and I mean it is worth coming to see. And we're up close and personal. It seats 2,000 people.
That's a pretty big arena.
Yeah. And I'm sitting up at the top, and I'm going like, you got to be kidding me. Those guys are up here with me in the motorcycles, and I'm looking.
Oh yes,
straight.
Yeah,
I'm like,
crazy.
they're right there with you.
They're jumping like 30, 40 feet in the air. It's kind of crazy.
But then once we fix the arena, we have some barrel racing coming up. The 14th, I believe, is when it is, and then we have bulls and barrels.
By the way, barrel racing. I don't know if people know this. That's not in it. Like you got to be in it. And it opens the avenues for these young ladies that are youngsters, young girls that get, they'll be enthralled by seeing these amazing athletes, because not only is the horse an athlete, but the person riding it has to be extremely in tune with that animal
and intelligent.
So it's another way to to get people involved in a different kind of sport.
We have world champion here in DeSoto County. You look at Will Loomis.
Yes.
And then Kendall Scruggs. She's barrel racing.
Yes.
She's a world champion. She rides in our arena.
Amazing.
So I'm telling you, and that's it's just great. We got a lot of local young girls and everything that are involved in this.
Yeah, and they can inspire some new ones. That's part of what this is, to get. This was a rural area up until probably 30 years ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And, we remember that.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of horse pastures.
We're
everywhere.
Sitting in a pasture
right now. Yes.
Yeah. I used to work for Mr. Frank Robinson right here on this spot with his cows.
Wow.
My brother and I did.
Wow.
There was a silo over here, and we used to empty the silo and the silo bin to feed his cows right here where we're talking.
Right. So with the growth and new housing, it eliminates the farms and ranches that were back in the day. And so, you got to go a little further south to find a big area of that. But there's still some tucked here and there that people are still, a part of, some stables here and there. But this is to kind of let people know this is available here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Get your kids involved in this. Teach them a better, cleaner path than, gaming,
That's
computer,
right.
whatever it is.
Get them off the couch.
Get them off the couch. Get them outside. And it is a safe environment. It's very clean. And also, it's yours as a community. Yeah. So you have the right to come out and enjoy it.
Here's our goal. All right. So, that's what we're doing is part of our goal. But right now with the supervisors and everyone, we're on committees. Lee Caldwell sits on the committee along with Robert Foster.
Yes.
And we bring all the information to the rest of the board. But the goal is eventually to go back in time, and I can say it's in time because it's in my time.
Sure.
To have a county fair.
That'd be amazing.
Okay, so we're going to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to have a county fair. We're going to have it's going to be incorporated with the rodeo. It's going to be incorporated with livestock, with 4-H, so people understand Mississippi State Extension Office has moved up to this agri center. They were south of Hernanda.
Yeah.
They are now with us in the building, along with soil and water conservation and NRCS. So everybody is right there with us. So we're on hand.
Yeah.
It's a one-stop shop.
Absolutely. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Hey guys, this show is brought to you in part by RoofWorks Roofing Company. Not only just friends of the family, friends of the show, but great people, a great company. You can trust them for any of your roofing needs. Call them today. Check out what they have to offer. Free quotes, free inspections. And I can tell you right now, they're going to back up their work. Call them today at 662-303-0345. You can also reach them at roofworksmidsouth.com. Thank you to our county leaders to put this in play for us, and then thank y'all for being a part of running it and promoting it and keeping it going, because it's going to be, and you're looking for the people to help kind of pass this on to.
That's right.
Right now, you're looking for the people to step in, so you need those volunteers to help kind of come in and help y'all with the future of this thing, because it should be here for the next 50 years, thriving and going.
We're going to be here way long after we're gone.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So some of the other things beyond rodeoing and livestock, what else besides the motocross? What else can you see happening?
Here's what we're doing. So we've named the trees, along with Matthew and everything, and the ones that we've planted. We've got placards now because technology's come forward, and we have QR codes. So you'll be able to go up to the tree, and you'll be able to put your phone up to it, get the QR code, and it will tell you about the tree.
How tall it's going to get.
How tall it's going to get.
That's
everything.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, and that's close. I mean, we've already have the trees identified and where they are and everything.
This is on the walking trails and all that. Yeah.
So, bring your school groups out, your church groups out.
Be a great field day trip.
The field day, you'll be able to go and enjoy this. And it'll also give you the Chickasaw name. Am I right on that? Because that's where the the Indians.
All this Chickasaw Bluff back
That's
in the
right.
day.
That's right. So it'll give you that name too of what that tree is.
Okay.
So
very nice.
and pronounce it for you. So
educational.
Yeah. So
historical.
And one thing that they're helping us with is during our convention, they're turning that rodeo arena into something that we can use with a flooring.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the name of it is. It's going to be a hard flooring, so it'll be easier to walk on.
Sure,
that's that special dirt.
That's that special dirt.
Yeah, it's called hard pan. What I do is we come in with a roller. We did it for DeSoto Hope.
Yeah.
Okay, DeSoto Hope came in.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Yeah,
that was phenomenal.
Yeah, we had 600 people out. We had tables out on the floor.
Right. So we had a big event.
Oh yeah, big event for them,
absolutely.
And they're doing it again. Again.
So basically it's just rolling compaction dirt, and then of course what you and I talked about. The good thing about messing with this dirt every other month or whatever you got to do, it turns it and it refreshes and revitalizes it, and so it's pretty cool. I know that because that's a business I'm in. So I think it's important to aerate it, kind of get it turned over and stuff. So it is kind of cool that you go. You fix it one way for a minute, and then you have to go back and put it back to where it was at. Yeah.
Right.
So it's probably good, at the end of the day for that part of it. But so you can have actual probably real serious events inside the arena and turn it into a hardwood floor or whatever it is that they do in there for the moment. Right. So people can utilize it for their special event or fundraiser or whatever it may be. And I'm sure that's what you were doing to DeSoto Hope. Right. It was probably a fundraiser.
That's
correct?
Right. It was. It was a cancer.
Yes.
Amazing
organization. Amazing organization.
It is. And they're planning to do it again at the same location next year.
And I don't know if this happened during that, but you brought a horse whisperer in.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. That was the best. Let me tell you about this. Mr. Daly, Paul Daly, and his wife out of Louisiana, and I've seen them before. Yeah. And that was our first event.
I've heard of him.
And that was a free event.
Yeah.
That was, again, there's a lot of things to come do that are
free to the public.
This is a county taxpayer facility.
Yes.
Come enjoy it.
Yes.
It's your facility.
Yes.
We got to keep the lights on, though. There's
some events, especially when they have independent, subcontractors come in, like the motocross people. When they're promoting their event, they're just renting the facility to do a show for you. Right. Obviously, there's going to be a charge. But when it's a county event driven, it's most likely going to be free to the public.
Right.
Other than the food and stuff, you know. But you can get in for free.
And we try to keep our food prices to where they're affordable, so you can. It doesn't break the bank when you bring your family and your
kind of like Juniors and Dales, right?
That's what I'm talking about. We don't want to break the bank.
We want to keep it down. So
eat those local pigs.
That's right. Eat those local pigs. Yeah.
Well, the horse whisperer, gentlemen. If you hear us, if we do it again, and we will, Mr. Daly, he comes in and he's a minister that comes in and he works his program around a horse that's never been ridden, but it's halter broke. It's a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old. Right. And we get a local horse. And we actually found one local. We put our fillers out and found one, and he showed up. His name was Patrick.
Yeah.
You can lead him anywhere you want to, but he's never had a saddle on him.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
But this gentleman right here gets in there, and it's amazing how he works this horse and the horse to his commands and what he wants to do, but he's preaching the whole time.
Sure.
And when it's over and when he saddles him and we watch him buck and do his thing, and when it's all said and done, he gets on top of that horse and rides him for the first time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Oh, yeah. It was awesome.
Something could take a couple of years to accomplish. He does in minutes.
He made that horse do things. It's like, I don't know. that's what I do. I want horses, ride horses every day.
And the work that goes in to get a horse there. Yeah. So,
but I need this whisper.
Oh, my God. He just sped things up 10,000 times.
In an arena during an hour.
Man, in front of people. It's kind of wild. Yeah. I've heard of him before. I may have even watched some of his stuff. It's really kind of cool to watch people work with animals like that. Yeah. Again, he probably learned that through some ag or FFA or 4-H program initially when he was a child to get him close to. He probably grew up in it somehow, but to kind of get him comfortable with animals,
you
know. And there's also a peacefulness that comes with working with animals, a closeness, if I think if anybody has if you don't have a family pet, come down, just because they're not your animal doesn't mean that someone wouldn't be willing to allow you to get close to it.
To pet it.
Pet it, whatever it may be, to kind of get familiar with it. So if you're in a city like Horn Lake or South Haven where you just don't see anything other than a dog or cat ever, come down. I'm sure that even Mr. Michael here would allow you to pet his horse. And
I'll let you ride my horse.
You'll let you ride his horse. That's right. You put it on the back of it.
I will.
Especially with kids, it's amazing.
I got two of the kid best horses you can ever imagine.
That's probably best for me.
Yeah, that's right. So.
And they learn that you don't get milk out of a container.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it comes out of a cow, actually.
That's right.
Or a goat.
That's right.
Yeah, some people get goats. Yeah. But so, just a real educational opportunity. I just think there's so many facets that makes this so amazing.
Well, see, we also have a room that we call our ballroom, which we're talking about. It's got a wall, a fake wall that comes across, not fake, but it comes across. It holds 300 people. If you want to put them in there, or if you want to put a different seating, it'll hold up to 600.
Okay.
So we have events there, and your son has catered the South Haven Chamber
for Commerce. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have them there. They come in and do their thing. When they have their luncheon and everything. So we have a teaching kitchen.
Yeah.
So 4-H uses it quite often, and
our herbal lady teaches a lot of classes. And in fact, during our convention, she's going to be teaching some classes on cooking with herbs.
Very cool.
You need to get rid of salt in your diet and a lot of other things, and she's going to teach people how to make it courteous.
Yeah, I need to know that.
And canning, we'll teach. They'll
that's
come
another
in and teach
thing that's
canning.
a lost art for people.
Yeah.
Is canning.
That's what we did growing up.
That's right.
Yeah,
Me too.
You had your garden, you canned it. And
Man,
you ate it later.
I could just remember just the dread of that. But now looking back on it, the amazingness of it.
Did you have to pull weeds?
Oh man! If they could get me off my lazy tail to do it, but I would reluctantly, yes.
My daddy said, "I got you boys something." My older brother Harvey, and my sister, she wasn't old enough. Well, 9 years old, she was driving the truck while we were hauling hay. At 9, And he said, "Man, I got you something." Well, I thought we done had us something good. It was a box. It was long, and we opened it up. It's 2 brand new hose.
Oh my goodness!
Like, Lord,
I just remember my grandmother and my grandfather just crawling on their hands and knees in a like a acre garden. Like a big garden,
butter beans. I ain't picking butter beans.
Man, just everything you can think of, And I was just like, can we just leave? Isn't there a better way? Can't we buy it? I know they sell this at the store, but I didn't know at the time. You see how big a guy I am, right?
Right.
I didn't get there on accident. I was eating raw vegetables from the time I could, breathe probably.
Right.
My brother's the same way I am. Our parents are not like us, like they come from the era, but it has to be the food we were eating.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can tell you. And some genetics, obviously, but we're very tall, healthy boys. You know what I mean? Men now, I guess. But overall, though, it come from that amazing food that we were eating.
And that's how we ate.
Yes, absolutely.
What we just talked about, hogs we killed. I remember our bus driver taking us down our long road. He said, "I know what you Lee boys are going to be doing this afternoon." Everybody in the whole bus looked out. We had 3 hogs hanging up out there. We're like, "Oh, Lord." My dad said, "Go get your clothes, clothes on."
There is work behind having good food, for sure. There's a lot of work in it.
But how I appreciate it.
But the taste, man, like when I can get fresh purple hull peas. Oh my gosh, man, and corn.
That's the reason farmer markets are doing so well now.
It is, because people, they desire that, and that's something y'all teach. You will help them understand the importance of it, how to do it themselves. And they don't have to be on a large scale, And
it's one of the things our extension agent does. He goes out with Gia, who is the head of the Hernando Farmers Market, and they actually put their eyes on the farm and make sure that everything that they're bringing to farmers market is grown.
Right. And it's not bought somewhere. So they're ensuring, I guess, the legitimacy of the market, at that point. So,
absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, good on them. Yeah. And I'm sure that probably other markets in the area, I know Olive Branch has a farmer's market as well. They probably have someone doing something similar, So, but with the Agri-Center, getting back to what the amazing good things that you got going on, just some of the things, like some of the events you got scheduled coming up, tell people about it, because this may release a couple of weeks after today.
Yeah, we have the 21st of February right now. We have Bulls and Barrels,
nice.
bullfighting,
That'd be fun. That's exciting. If nobody's ever experienced that, that may be one of the most exhilarating, fun events you can go to.
So what I'm told right now, we're looking at probably about 30 bulls that are showing up. And again, these guys come in who want to earn points. IPRA, SPRA, the PRCA, rodeo. As a matter of fact, there's rodeo next weekend at the Lander Center.
Nice.
So I encourage everybody to, let's promote everybody.
That's another
all
community.
Tourism.
Absolutely. We need people to the area. Absolutely. Lander Center is a phenomenal facility that we have had for many, many years here. Again, something they stepped up and built in order to provide something for our community. We didn't have to go to Memphis. We didn't have to go to Little Rock or whatever.
They built that for graduations. Did you know
that was the primary focus, yes. And then they say, well, dang, can't we have a concert? Right. Somebody. It was smart because as the town was growing, it was some serious forethought there. It really was. Whoever designed that and brought it to life was really smart. I'm sure at the time everybody's like, why are they doing that? But look at the gifts that it's brought to us, Now, yes, it also brought us the gift of congested traffic.
That's right.
During graduation.
And we're working on that. Yeah. Any show they do over there is crazy busy. So, but it is something that not a lot of communities have. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's something, now we got something new that I don't think it competes with it. It brings something different.
And if you've never seen, you know what a bullfighter is. The guys who help protect the guys who are riding the bulls.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, they earn points also.
Yes.
So what they'll do is they'll turn a bull loose in the arena. And that one bullfighter will get out there and he'll show his talents and skills.
Sure.
And I guess the talent and skill is to not get run over by that bull, right?
Well, and antagonize the bull to the point of where
scratch his head while you run around the circles.
Makes the bull look bad, but the bull's got to be doing good in order to, it's a combination. They work as a team.
That's right.
Super athletic on both behalves. The people, because he's a clown typically.
Yeah.
You don't think of them as being athletes, but maybe some of the most athletic human beings I've ever seen.
Right. You have to jump in a barrel fast.
Man, or jump over or jump. Holy cow.
They do flips over these things.
Yes, absolutely.
These guys do.
Yeah, very, very athletic people and crazy. Yep. You know what I mean? Absolutely crazy. I had a few friends. I mentioned to you, I spent like 15 years in Cheyenne. So I was, it's a big cowboy community, a lot of rodeo, obviously, the Cheyenne Frontier days. And I got to know a lot of my friends were involved in this whole rodeo world. But the guys who did the wild horse racing and the clowns, holy cow. Those are some special individuals.
Yes.
Great guys. But fear is not in their DNA.
Not in them.
Yeah,
and they protected a lot of cowboys.
They do. They absolutely do. And it's a dangerous business for sure. But it's there's not a lot of old guys doing it.
Right.
Like there's.
You gotta be quick.
You gotta be quick
on your feet.
Yeah, you gotta be quick on your feet. I would say it's probably an early out for most people. Like you think of a basketball player nowadays being able to play 35 or 40. You don't see too many rodeo clowns in that age group anymore.
Right.
Because it is a dangerous business, or even bull riders. For that matter. Or livestock riders. There's definitely 20-year-olds in early 30s.
I think I saw one at the last one we had, and I think they said he was like 45.
Wow.
That's old. And and we were like, everybody did that. Everybody went, wow. But they made sure, that was his claim to fame there, being 45 and still riding bulls.
Well, obviously he's got great genetics, took care of his body, and he hadn't took too many hits. So,
but he didn't ride the 8 seconds. It's an 8 second. I'm like, well, at least he got on him and
Well,
tried,
if he got on him, that's amazing in itself. I couldn't even believe that. But I wouldn't even, man.
Oh, I'd ride the gate out. That's what I'd do. Hold on the gate, just ride it out for 8 seconds. All right, Michael, get off that gate.
Yeah, that's right. Just hold on to the gate. Yeah. So you got that coming up. That's going to be a huge. We got
paint horse shows. So
okay.
There's every horse event you can imagine.
Oh yeah.
So and we got our livestock shows. We're talking about. We're always constantly going to keep repeating.
Is it weekly, or are you just kind of right now building to that?
Nikki Scoggins is our
promoter
coordinator.
Yeah.
She's the one you call and say, hey, this is what great. She does a great job. And I got another lady named Amy. She's our educational expert up there, is what I call her.
Give everybody a shout out.
Oh,
Michael.
yeah, they're doing great. And I got a great grounds crew, guys. I got Zach Johnson. He's a foreman. He's a horse trainer.
Okay.
And then I got another young man named Stephen Mosley.
Okay.
These are people that works. They're laborers. We're moving panels constantly.
But you had to go out and find these folks that are going to be essential in making this thing successful.
Absolutely.
So I get that.
Yeah.
Both of you have to do that. And it's not like people just walk up and, maybe a couple of them found you and want to be a part of it, but you had to go out and find the right people to make this thing move.
That's right.
So I understand the work behind that. And the county supervisors entrust you to do that.
Yeah.
So, because they're your boss, right?
That's right. They are. Yeah. And they, all of them, again, they got all something to bring to the table.
Sure,
I mean,
sure.
every one
Ideas
of them
and connections. Yeah, all that stuff.
And the votes.
that too. That's the biggest thing. The financing.
I need the votes. I need all that.
They're the check writers.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
I always say that.
They're the good stewards of the taxpayers' money.
Absolutely.
And they grew up in this community, and they grew up on farms, and they know what's
the importance of it.
That's right.
Yeah, I think most everybody that's like a DeSoto County native, from not even just DeSoto County, but it can be Tate, Tunica, whatever, just from this area. Yeah. And I don't want to leave those folks out.
Tri-County,
we want you to come if you're from Tunica or Tate or Marshall or anywhere, Panola. Come up here and enjoy this thing, because it is, again, we want to bring people to the area to enjoy what we have to offer.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to do during our convention, is show the other master gardeners in the state the beautiful place that we're in.
Yes.
The phenomenal place that we're in, and the potential that we have to teach.
Absolutely. And you're going to be on top of that, spearheading that, correct?
And our convention is called Blooms, Blues, and Barbecue.
Nice.
Wow.
Who's going to be providing the barbecue?
Yeah. I can almost guess.
I don't know. I think you might know somebody.
No, I think they found somebody.
They found somebody different.
No,
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if he's into the barbecue, but
if he was,
he has a partner, John David Wheeler, that is, though.
That's right.
Oh,
yes. Yeah. And John David's
David
amazing.
goes out and feeds people during catastrophes.
He's supposed to be on the show. He had we were going to talk about his Operation Barbecue Rescue. That's what he does. And it's an amazing organization. I want him on the show. When I do my fundraisers, I always try to buy the best meats from who I can. So I work with him and Jim through the butcher shop, and also through Primo's and Hernando. I don't ever forget them, because they're amazing people too. Have great products, and they're all local, and I love to shop local, do local things. And this is what we're talking about right now. Support your local community. Yeah. And this is what you're going to do. Their success determines, your success, I should say.
That's right. The dollars you spend in the community come back and help.
Yeah. And I think maybe even Jim told me this one time. He told me a number about how it translates. And I can't remember what he called it, but it is a phenomenal theory and it's true. It's not just a theory. It all somehow gets back into our schools, in our community, and gets back to our children. And that's what we're after.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so, educational, food, whatever it may be, and I think all of us, and even through what we do with helping the disenfranchised, it also gives them an opportunity to where they don't maybe not have the ability to go to a big show that costs a lot of money at the Lander Center or Memphis or something like this. This is something they can come and enjoy at times for free.
Yeah.
Especially the walking trails and the hiking trails. This is open to the public.
Yeah.
So,
and we're going to have, we just finished our pond, which is a pretty good, I want to say maybe an acre, 2 acres.
What kind of fish are you going to put in that thing?
Whatever the Mississippi State and decide.
Again, the extension agents, part of that.
They decide.
Partners of that.
Yeah.
But we're going to have fishing rodeos there.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Kids,
That's something they do. They have done a couple times throughout the municipalities. I know Horn Lake has done it before.
Hernando does it.
Does it. I know that South Haven. They've all tried it. But now we've got that's municipalities, folks. Those people are probably still doing great things in those areas. Yeah. But our county has stepped up and going to provide you something new, something fresh, and it's also something that's free.
That's right.
And then with the fishing, now we don't need to be out there. Just to be clear, we don't need you out there every day circling this pond with your fishing rod because you think it's yours to be fishing out of with no permission. There is some limits to the access, so I want to be clear on that. If you're listening to the show, just don't show up down there and start fishing because you're probably going to be asked to leave. Yeah. Because this is something that has to be monitored and kept nice and kept fresh, and we want to give everybody the same opportunity. We don't need one guy out there catching 100 fish a day, because you and I both know those guys.
Right. They'll be there.
They'll be there, man. If you tell them there's a certain kind of fish, man, I can see right now. But if I had to guess, I bet you there's going to be a few catfish and
crappie,
some bass, crappie,
maybe a few crappie.
Yeah, for sure. Brim, that kind of thing. Obviously, good eating fish, and we want these kids to obviously enjoy what Mississippi offers and teach them about what types of fish are good. Obviously, you don't want to keep your breeders, and things of that nature. So you want to. It's another educational opportunity as well. So we got an acre pond, and I'm sure you're going to help beautify it.
Absolutely.
Because that's important. I remember when I was a child, I grew up in Alabama, but right across the state line in Georgia, they had these catfish ponds where you could pay and go and catch fish.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
It used to be right here. Green
Did
tea.
they have one here
well,
too?
It was green tea. It was called Catch Cat Lakes.
Okay,
those lakes.
Well, that was way before my time.
Aren't you glad I'm on your show?
Yeah, that's right.
Those lakes right there were called Catch Cat Lakes.
Okay,
and that's what you did. You went to those lakes, and they had the guy there, and you weighed your catfish, and you caught them, and you paid for them. They'll either clean them for you and charge you, or you can go home and clean them yourself.
Nice. So, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
so,
you know that big sign that stayed up there forever on 55. I mean on 55, and right when you go up in the expressway.
Yeah,
it's there for. That's what that sign was. Catch Cat Lakes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So but what I was going to say is I can just remember how busy it was. Like you were literally shoulder to shoulder around this whole gigantic, probably a 3 or 4 acre lake at that time. And just and I remember people hooking each other with, hooking each other with fishing hooks, and it was dangerous, you know.
Yeah.
And but it was like $5, and you could catch and carry, so to speak, on a fishing string. You know, it's kind of what it was. Is that about how it was here?
Oh yeah,
very
same
cool.
thing.
I wonder what did away with that.
Development.
Just development again.
The Whitney house is there.
Took it away.
Yeah.
So if anybody's listening that's got some extra money. And wants to create a new thing in this community, that would be an ideal thing to do. That would be amazing to create some, commercial fish lakes, I guess, but private people can come in like me and you, because, it's a big issue. If you don't own a pond, in this area too, like for hunting, same thing. You know, there's just private land. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a scramble.
That's right.
Like, who do you know that's going to let you hunt or fish on their land?
Not many.
Not many. And so, the public land, public options is very slim. And with Acapella being down like it is, that took away a huge resource for this community to go and fish and learn about things like that. So now this new generation, and probably for the next, it looks like 10 to 15 years, they're talking about how long before that thing's back up. Don't understand that, but it is what it is. We got this great resource. Y'all can help teach them.
Sure.
Come in. I'm sure there's some scheduling has to be involved with that. But as you have the rodeos, bring these youngsters in and teach them, how to be good stewards of the community well.
That's part of it. I mean, they're talking about master gardeners. You guys are. I know y'all had were you on that tour yesterday where you went up and saw where the new master gardeners are going to be, what the tower is? We got the 911 tower up there.
No, I wasn't up there.
They're going to do the gardening up there. So we're going to have we have the facility, the location. Master gardeners are going to be able to go up there and you can come in and do a community planning, and stuff
Very
like
cool.
that. So we're working on
and where we left a beautiful garden there, and it's going to be used. So we left our footprint at the facility that we moved from.
Where's that at?
At 51, across from Renson Park.
Okay, yeah.
And it's a beautiful garden. It's a teaching garden.
Sure.
It's butterflies.
Yeah.
A lot of people, a lot of kids don't understand the life cycle of insects and
bees
things.
and butterflies and all that stuff.
You don't have to kill them.
And how important they are to us as to survive.
In China, there are places that the people have to pollinate the plants.
Yes.
Because they've done away with all of the beneficials.
And the pesticides and everything.
That's right. That's right.
And we don't want to be at that point.
We don't want to be at that point. We're working towards that, unfortunately. But we got good folks like you and Michael here that is trying to bring that back. And, of course, our good leadership that's afforded the opportunity. Because without them, I don't want to. Sometimes I get on them about some other things. But this is something that's really good. And I only know personally Bill, obviously Russell. Bill Russell, he's but Ray, he's a friend of mine, and because we're from the same area, he represents me. So I've never had the opportunity to meet the other ones. I hope to in the future, because some of the stuff we got going on with my foundation, we're going to need their support going forward to kind of just help give it legitimacy, and we move forward with helping the community. However, I don't want it to go without saying that they are the reason, behind this, So thank you all, by the way, for putting this into play, past and present, because I know it took a lot of work for a lot of years.
And it's going to take continued work. So
the next generation of supervisors will be involved in keeping this going. Right. So there's a blueprint to it to succeed, but it also takes the citizens to be a part of it. So come and support this thing.
It's community.
Yes, community. You've got to be involved. So get involved, support this, and take the opportunity to learn something new, educate yourself in different ways. I'm sure we just kind of scratched the surface of some of the things that y'all offer today. Some of the food, you said you have a food court. What's some of the things? Is it typical, just hot dog, hamburger type stuff?
Yeah, actually, it's a concession.
Okay.
And, so it's, the typical, hot dog, hamburger, barbecue nachos.
Sure. That's personally my favorite. Yeah.
Popcorn, things like that.
Right.
But, when I said about the horses,
beer?
Are
we working on alcohol sales?
The only thing is when you do that is it depends on the event.
Sure.
And who's doing it.
Sure.
And then they come in and probably, offer beer.
Sure. But it's not going to be an ongoing thing for the county to facilitate.
No,
it'll be a special event only.
That's right.
Right. So like the motocross, for instance, those people could They will not
have beer.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying a special event.
Yeah.
It has to be an outside contractor.
That's right.
Probably.
That's
right.
A caterer or
Jim
something.
has an alcohol
Jim might be
license.
throwing some beer out there at you, maybe. Yeah. So, man, Jim, if you're not happy with the mentions today, man, golly, man, golly.
Yeah, we're coming to you.
Your mama did you a solid today, man. So, but anyway.
Hey, well, we got. I want to mention real quick as far as the paint horse shows. We have a paint horse show scheduled for this coming up year. We got some quarter horse shows coming up.
Explain to people. Okay, so I know what that is, and you guys know what that is. But explain to our audience what the difference is between paints and quarters and thoroughbreds and this Palominos, all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, a paint horse is two colors mostly. You'll see them black. Well, Little Joe Cartwright had
That's
one,
right. That's right.
And then the Palomino, Roy Rogers had one. I guess I'm going too far back for them. They
I know what you mean. But like on Bonanza.
Bonanza Heat, that was
They're like a tan horse.
That was a buckskin.
That's a buckskin. Palominos have blonde hair.
Right, blonde hair.
Buckskins have the same kind of tone, but they have a darker hair.
Darker, maybe with a blacker
That's
hair.
right. And Palominos are very golden to silver hair.
You have your sorrels, which is a red color.
Yes.
I
know these things. But again,
like
educating the public, there's so many different
with the spots.
Yes, they're beautiful animals.
Yeah.
Sometimes there can be different traits in these.
Well,
animals.
it's how they're bred.
That's right.
You said thoroughbred. What is thoroughbreds mostly used for?
Racing. That's
there
right.
You go.
Yeah.
So and then they could be barrel racers.
Yes.
So sometimes they will
crossbreed them.
Yeah. With the quarter
long
horse.
legs.
Yeah.
That's
fast,
what they're
quick,
after.
and a brain.
That's right.
That's a cutting horse is something that's just not. It's bred into them. It's just like your cow dogs. Dog. You got those. It's bred into them.
So that is what I'm talking about. The reason why I know these things is because I grew up in the 4-H and the FFAs and the AGs and I was, and not that I owned any of this stuff around my house. You know what I mean? Like I just was educated through these programs,
right? And
having access to people that knew about them.
Yeah. And the beauty of the 4-H program is that it's developed with the community.
Yeah.
It used to be, they didn't even have ponies and horses when I was in 4-H. And my father fought the cattle breeders and the dairy breeders because they said that doesn't teach a kid that you raise an animal and then you sell it.
Yeah, that's right.
They said there's no value in horses or ponies. Well, he won.
Yeah, that's right.
But it teaches, a lot of people the value of animals and just to have a chicken.
Sure.
Or a rabbit.
And there's different ones of those, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
All kinds of different breeds and meat rabbits and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we raised rabbits and killed them.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'm trying to get at is there's car culture, right? Yeah. So there's a lot of people like different kind of cars. Like, growing up in a certain era, you have a favorite car that's probably from your time growing up to where when you're 10 years old and you go, oh my God, that's the most beautiful automobile. Horses are about the same way because there is such a distinct look to different ones we talked about just now, from the Appaloosas to Arabians even. There's even Arabian horses, and they're beautiful in their own way. Yeah. Slender faces, slider builds. However, they have their purposes. And so when you learn about these things, it's really, truly intriguing. If you have interest in something different, this is a place to come to as the DeSoto County Ag Center because they're going to teach you these things and show you these things. And you might even get to experience walking up to a beautiful. What kind of horse you got, Michael?
I have a paint and also a sorrel.
Okay, so you get up and you get to experience
Nacho and Mighty Mouse.
Yeah, Nacho and Mighty Mouse. Those are beautiful names, by the way.
Yeah.
So, but you understand the uniqueness and how horses, by the way, are like dogs and people. You get all kinds with personalities and intelligence levels.
You know what I enjoy doing when I'm not riding?
What's that?
Sitting out there with my horses.
Just talking.
Yeah,
hanging
they
out.
come out.
Yeah.
They come up to you. They put their head on your shoulder. You know,
Oh
and
man,
they're
the
just
most affectionate
hanging out
things in
with
a
you.
well.
They nuzzle you.
Yeah,
nuzzle
they
you.
love you, man.
Nibble
you.
you.
Oh yeah.
And you think they're trying to bite you.
Trying
They're
to
just,
take your hat
If
off.
you have
and all that
horses,
kind
you
of
know
stuff.
they're not
they're
going to
just
bite you.
nibbling.
Yeah.
That's their only thing. That's their fingers, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how they. That's how they touch and feel.
Yeah,
a lot
they'll
of
mess
times.
with the cowboy hat, and you're like,
Oh my
"Quit
God!
that, leave it
Yes,
alone,"
man.
you know,
Pull
so,
your shirt, everything. So
it's
a
brilliant.
really amazing type of life, and I encourage people to come out and try to learn from you guys because I don't know of another organization in the whole area that provides this. You know?
We went through some schools. I did have a little pony named Dolly that we got rid of her, and she was something else. You know, we took her to kids, and we did her actually, you know, up here some of the times around the square.
Sure.
But some of the kids who came up in our schools, in our local areas here, they'll come up and say, "I've never seen a horse before in person."
Wow.
You
That
know,
just shows you
they've
the
never-
development that's happened
And
here.
you're going, you got to be kidding me. You know,
that just shows
like-
you
And they don't
the,
realize the ponies on the Shetland Island were in the mines.
That's right. They were workhorses.
They were.
Yeah, they really were because they're
They
short.
carried that coal up out of the mine.
And they're powerful. I had a Shetland pony. Me and my brother, I should say my brother did. His name was Sundown. And man, that was a rascal. I mean, he was a rascal, bro. Yeah. He kicked the crap out of you. Like,
I rolled the legs off.
Yeah. My brother was so big, he couldn't buck him. But like, he was just stocky. I mean, they were built for work. That's what they were.
He was my dirt bike. I didn't have dirt bike.
He didn't have a
No,
dirt
I didn't have
bike.
a dirt bike. I had a Shetland pony.
And he had 4-wheel drive to boot.
Man,
yeah.
we went everywhere.
Yeah.
For places you think you couldn't go,
they
we
could
went.
find their way home.
That's
Yeah.
right.
They're very smart. And also very, I think rascal's a good word to use for them.
Yeah, no, he was something now.
Yeah, they definitely got their own set of
He
personalities.
didn't want you
so.
to catch him.
No.
But when you caught him, he was like, "Okay,
You got me. You got me.
me."
Yeah. Kind of like, but anyway, again, it teaches. You know, it's an opportunity to teach people the differences. As a horse is just not a horse. Like there's difference in personalities, breeds, colors. You know, what I mean, things.
Yeah.
You know, the breeding of it and stuff. So you know. Be prepared if you do decide to ever cross that line and get into horse ownership. It's no joke. Like that's a serious that is a a lifelong commitment.
I get up every morning, they're waiting on me. When I come home in the afternoon, they see me coming, and here they come.
That's right. That's right. And the thing about it is they can live to be like 40.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a lifelong commitment. So, you know, just be prepared for that. If you're thinking about what you're hearing today, it is a commitment. You know, it's way worse than a dog. So, yeah.
It's not like a phone you can put in your pocket.
No, you cannot.
That's
So
right.
these things require a lot of food, a lot of medical attention at times, and definitely a lot of love.
Yeah.
You know, you got to show them a lot of attention.
But a
So.
lot of pleasure.
Tons of pleasure.
Tons of pleasure.
There's a reason why they use the term pleasure horse.
That's right.
Absolutely. There is a reason behind that because there are some working horses and cutting horses and things of that nature, but pleasure horse is probably the most popular.
You know, we got a lot of local, even in Hernando, you know, with the Civic down on Robinson Gin.
Yeah.
You know, on Saturday nights, they have the horse show still
They do.
going on
They
down
still
there.
do. Yeah.
You know, and it's free. You know, go down there and watch these people.
Amazing. Again,
know,
it just
compete.
brings more to the culture
Yeah.
and the community and teaching. Like people forget about those things because they're not on the beaten path.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? This thing, the Agri Center is a little bit, it's not on the beaten path, but I believe it will be eventually because as people find out, as we grow, as they widen the roads out, people are curious about what's going on and they're going to come see you.
Yeah.
You know, and it's an amazing facility. And I know that there's been a lot of work to get it to where it's at. One more time, mention something else that's coming for, I know you talked about the rodeo, the paint horse shows, the bull rider show. What's coming on top of that as well? Some of the things.
Well, we have a lot of we have a show that's coming on. I'd have to learn the name of it, but it's a cooking. It's live. Mm-hmm. It's a competition.
Okay.
And I think it's this coming next Friday.
Okay.
Wow, what kind of food?
They come in. What they do is she'll give a menu, and
Okay.
she's a local person, and she'll have 2 or 3 people in there, you know, because we can film all this and everything. Mm-hmm. And she'll come in and she'll have you give you a menu on what to make, and they'll cook it, and then they'll judge it, and it's kind of like the cooking shows. you see
Yeah, that's
on
pretty
TV.
cool.
Yeah, she's
And they're
done
gonna
one
film
there.
it.
It's a southern,
Again,
Yeah.
a place to hold an event.
Yeah.
You rent the
Yeah.
space.
Yeah,
so
she did.
that's another thing, an avenue. If you are a food vendor and they have these things, and I'm sure y'all probably have food truck shows at some point in time
Or a
in the
wedding.
future. Or a
yeah,
wedding.
we have a wedding coming. We do. We already have a
graduation parties or
wedding.
whatever,
We had
like
we had a quinceanera. Is that how you pronounce it? We had one of those. 16. I know, right? I did the same thing. My wife.
That's
Here we go. It's a 16-year-old birthday party. party.
Yeah, no, but it's based on
Hispanic.
Spanish. Yes,
that's
Hispanic.
Right.
Yeah. Hispanic. That's awesome.
Yeah, we had one of those, and it was great.
I bet
we were
it was.
invited to it, and I was
personally,
wow.
as I found out about this, I talked to you about my car giveaways and what we do for the Fancy Nancy Foundation, and wanting to probably generate something there for that in the future as we do for the community.
Sure.
We have a big community event there, have a huge car show, do a big giveaway. That would also bring a lot of new eyes to the place,
right.
and obviously, so I look to working with them in the future, and you guys doing stuff.
Well, I'm a licensed auctioneer too, and
even better.
I do the House of Grace.
You do?
I've been doing it
you
for
told me
year.
that.
I do their auctions for them.
Sarita, by the way, if you're seeing this, Sarita, by chance,
I had so much fun.
Her sister passed away yesterday,
and
I want to tell her I love her, and
yes.
that we're here for her. So if she sees that, she's an amazing human being.
Oh, unbelievable. Yeah.
It takes a lot of special people to work in that world.
Yes.
With domestic violence and the survivors. It's not, they're dealing with it in the emergency need, and it's like they're freshly out of it. And it's unbelievable to see that kind of set up and having the people that work in that every day. Because you live that, We're talking about happy stuff here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right. I know, right?
Yeah. They're living in the doom and gloom of life,
right.
So it takes special people, but
survival.
But again, a very special person, and they're a huge part of our community, and we need to support them more and more. And I want to try to team up with some of y'all and some of the things that they do and what we do as well. I believe the more community we have networking together, as far as the nonprofits, community events, and even the businesses, the better our whole area will be. All of our people, uplift them, little hand up.
Absolutely.
Yes, we got to make money and we got to do stuff for business, but at the end of the day, it don't have to be all about the money.
No.
You know what I mean? We have to provide good services and community leadership and community opportunity.
That's right.
Yeah. And let people know that we're here for them. That's
Can
the main
I brag?
thing. Yeah.
Jim was asked to do feeding the troops, and he did it before Thanksgiving, and that was something else.
Pretty amazing, wasn't it?
I knew I wasn't in trouble in that building. There were so many people with guns, but
that was the National Guard when they came to
was.
town, and they had been here a couple of months at that point, and Jim offered to go up and help feed them, and then I applaud him for that.
They were
that was
so
a great thing.
thankful.
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't get a lot of thanks.
No, man, right now, especially where they're at up in that community, I think the people that are very proud of them being here are not necessarily embedded in that community. And it's by design. They wouldn't be there if there wasn't a need.
That's right.
And the people who here, mostly local, southern, east of town, whatever, they support them being there because, it's the typical type of folks we like to support, and with law enforcement as well. But that's an amazing job he did, and the family as a whole, because I know y'all all went up there and helped.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, and I'm very thankful for that. So it's good, again, community leadership. Giving back.
It's all community.
That's right.
When you look at our surrounding, from the cities, Olive Branch, Horn Lake, South Haven, Hernando, Walls.
Yeah.
Now, it's important that we all come together and work for the same cause, because we're all in the same.
We're in the same business and the same game of just trying to make life better in DeSoto County and surrounding.
It's not a competition.
Yeah, it's not a competition.
No,
I tell people all the time that I think sometimes when I'm doing stuff, I feel like somebody's looking at me like, well, he's kind of trying to do what no, it's not that, man. I want to help you.
That's right.
I really want to help you. Our organization we deal with is really to help other nonprofits. That's kind of what our goal is. So is to work with those individuals and organizations that need that extra support, because they can't go out and fundraise, because they're like, the House of Grace is tough because they got a real job at hand. Yeah. That's kind of why we're involved with them, or the Precious and Pink House. And
you used to do feed my lambs.
Feed My Lambs. I do
That's
a ton
when I first met you.
I still do that. They're an amazing organization. They're so busy doing the hard work, they don't have time to try to raise the funds. It's difficult. And you're working off all of volunteers. You know what I mean? It's all volunteers. So if somebody isn't getting paid, that's where I seen the need. Well, I can't do the work they're doing because they're doing the real hard work, but I can try to bring some attention and some awareness to try to bring some support to them in some capacity, whether it be financially or just somebody showing up to volunteer or verbally spreading the word about it. That's what the need is. And that's what the show's about. That's why I started the show, is to bring awareness to all good things in our community. Sometimes some bad stuff happens and we talk about it, but that's just, again, community. We're making people aware, and so I want to thank both of you for your dedication for what you're doing. I know it's a lot of work, and you're excited and probably anxious at times about the success of an event you're getting ready to have. I know that feeling because when I do my events, I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope we have an awesome day today. I hope people show up. I hope it don't rain. I hope this, that, and the other.
So, we don't have to worry about rain.
Yeah, y'all got a nice covered
We've got
building.
a nice area.
Right. Yeah, I'm interested to see it. When I was in Wyoming, when I lived in Cheyenne, they had one at the our community college there that was an agri center, so to speak, arena where they did all that stuff. I'm interested to see if it's similar built, because by design you have to have certain things, you know, and it has to, you know, I understand that, and it's been many, many years since I've been in that one, and I'm interested to see y'all's advancement on that idea.
Well, I'll tell you what we do have. Okay, so we have an indoor covered arena, which is where the event is.
2,000 seats. Yeah.
We have an outdoor covered arena. You can have an event out there if you wanted to do that.
Oh, wow, that's
even
amazing.
Even a barrel race.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, so we have that. We have outdoor restrooms. We have outdoor showers in those restrooms for people who, you know, use our 42. Right now we have 42 RV hookups, you know, horse trailer hookups. We have a 96 stall barn with wash bays, and we have the future of another 114 stall barns that's coming next to it.
So with that being said, both on the RV and the stalls, are those just for participants in the events?
They are. They're not
open to the public.
Open to the public.
Yeah, like so I can't come up and rent me an RV spot or a stall for my horse.
Here's what's good about that, and here's what the Board of Supervisors recognize too. You know, we have Snowden Grove.
Yes.
Okay, and you know, when people are coming in for the ball games and ball tournaments or whatever they're doing, for the
maybe allow those folks.
We will.
Yeah.
You know, if we do not have an event going on there and they need extra RV hookups,
sure,
come see us.
So work with the municipalities on special events, but not necessarily open to me as a
coming up there and stay.
Right. I understand. So special circumstances.
So it's our Master Gardener Conference.
Yeah.
People who maybe don't want to come because they can't afford the rooms. Yeah. They can bring their trailer.
Sure. They got a camper or whatever.
Yeah.
So or if there's a special event going on, something similar in the area to where same thing.
They're not being used. They can come stay there.
Absolutely. But it has to be under, you know, obviously special events type things. So I get that. Right. That's where I want to be clear, so people didn't start calling and go, "Hey, I need a place for my horse." You know.
That's right.
Well, you know,
and there are a lot of good local places like that.
Yes, there is.
Here,
yes, there is. I think that a lot of people don't know that though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because they're so tucked away and they're just kind of like what's left over from many years gone by that they've decided not to sell their property and keep their little homestead or ranch, which I applaud that, man, because we need that. And some of them are speckled in some of these big developments. You go up and you're like, dang, man, there's a horse facility right there. There's a horse farm. I can
stall my horse.
Absolutely. And so that's really cool. Those people are still just living that life, you know. And they're probably some of the people that help develop what y'all are doing because the support wise.
And they do. They come to the open ride nights too, you know, and help promote that.
Yeah, so if you have a horse, by the way, and you're looking for something to do collectively, you know, one of the things like the car culture we're talking about, you know, they get together and have drive-ins and meetups and hangouts and all that stuff. Not necessarily true with the horse culture around here because, like, there's just not a ton in the past, and if you know, I guess it's coming back now, but this provides an opportunity for people to get together and have those rides.
Come have a trail ride.
Meet
That's
new
what
people.
I was just going to say, a trail ride.
Yeah.
Have a trail ride.
And that'd be a good benefit. You know?
Absolutely.
Like the House of Grace or somewhere.
Absolutely.
You know, do a benefit ride for them.
We could do a benefit ride for them through our foundation, and we could give them the proceeds.
Yeah.
And I know the county will work with us with helping provide facilities.
I know a good caterer.
Look,
I bet you know a good caterer. So we have
it's a free facility for that. How about
absolutely.
that?
And we have opportunities to do that. I think if other people do like the stuff that I do with the foundation and trying to provide for others, reach out to the county and see if they will help you facilitate some events.
I know the Board of Supervisors will open their arms for that. That's what
because
it's for.
It takes the pressure off of them for one thing, because they're getting hit up nonstop, you know, and I give them grief about it sometimes with some important issues. But I understand the dollars have to come from somewhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? I get that. So my biggest pet peeve, and I always say this in every show, and I'm going to get in trouble one of these days with these guys. Let me tell you what I really get on to them about. Scanners. I think we need scanners in this whole community. And I tell them all the time, I'm like, why don't I have scanners? They're like, well, you know, they got an excuse. It's not just that. I'm not calling out the Board of Supervisors. I'm talking about everybody. 911 center, we need to put a scanner repeater on top of that thing. I'm just joking. That's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. I promise you.
You're talking about so you can hear what's going on?
Yes.
Well, you know, back in the day, you used to have that.
Yes.
I mean, everybody, they didn't watch TV. They sit there and listen to their house.
That's right.
And then they'd call and get the code number so they'd
So why did that stop, Michael?
I think it had to do with not just the way the technology changed. You know, I think it was analog back then, you know, so you can have a scanner, and I think it just kind of changed.
So here's my answer to that. Okay, so create an app on a phone.
There you go.
People got to pay, generate revenue, and pay for a lot of different things in the whole community.
You know, here's the deal. The scanner.
I really think they did away with it because they don't want people to know. That's typically.
There's a privacy issue.
There is.
But they can go to different channels. You know, I was in law enforcement
They can switch
for years.
it. Yeah, they can switch it.
You can go to your private channel and talk to each other. You know,
like Code Blue, and that means everybody switch over to this. It's a little sensitive information.
That's
but
right.
but if we need to, one of my things about this, and I don't mean to hark on this on your show, but you know, one of the things is Facebook's not the most reliable place for information.
Oh my gosh!
And that's where everybody gets their information. So you leave a lot of stuff up to speculation.
Man, I believe everything I hear on Facebook.
I know it, but it leaves up to speculation. So, and with our community growing like it is, there's things popping off a lot more often than we realize. You know, especially in the northern part of the county. And I just think it's important for transparency. Not that we need to know that if it's something serious, then you just
you're right.
turn it off. But for the most part, do I need to lock my doors? Do I need to, you know, whatever, get my kids in the house, something going on? And sometimes it's way later before we know anything.
That's right.
You know, and so that's why I think the importance of scanners. Yes, you're going to have the ambulance chasers and stuff like that are running around trying to be nosy. That's just life. But for the bigger overall good for the community, I think it's important for them to know.
Isn't that
really
Nixel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who is that?
Nixel.
That's, you know.
You subscribe to Nixel, and it lets you know when there's emergency situations in your community. If there's fires or anything like that.
I'm not talking about that, though. I'm talking about a legitimate police emergency scanner.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
They used to have these little boxes, and you got these little lights coming across.
And you set it right beside your recliner.
Oh, I grew up. Man, my grandparents' son, it was our entertainment.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's what I said. They did not watch TV. They listened to that scanner.
Absolutely. And if they charge, I bet you could charge $19.99 a month per subscriber and make a killing for the county. Because I bet you at least 20,000
honestly,
people.
You know, you talk about how people get hooked on things.
Yeah.
People got hooked on scanners
100%.
just like they do their phones.
Absolutely.
You know,
but it was kind of like, in a way, you know if your neighbor was in trouble. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and it's just overall safety for the community. Now, again, I like you, Sheriff Tuggle. We've talked about this. I like you, all you Leos out here. I support you. Their answer is, well, we don't want the criminals to know what we're up to. I'm like, they're not listening. They're criminaling. They're doing bad stuff.
You know, this is television. You see
that's
them
right.
Watching
Right.
scanner and send them.
I think it's just a way it could generate some revenue and keep the people informed. You know what I mean, about major things going on, and also like this public announcements, like, hey, anybody that's listening out there, let everybody know that we're going to be doing this on Goodman Road for the next 2 hours. Yeah. That kind of stuff, you know, like it's also an emergency broadcast system. So yeah, I'm sorry I harped on that.
You're fine.
But I've in my mind this year, I was like, I'm going to talk about that every show until somebody tells me to shut up or they do something. One of the two. So,
legislation.
Get
your legislator.
What? I think it's county supervisors. I think those are the ones we have to get into. Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, guys, anything else we didn't hit today on the topic that you want to get across the board?
No, I just want to put the information out, which you said will be available.
It will be.
After the show.
Yeah.
About our convention.
Yeah.
And about the Master Gardener program.
Yes.
Our deadline is February 17th for sign up.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking about it, you need to go to the website and take a look around.
And tell them what the website is real quick.
Extension.msstate.edu.
Gotcha. So I'm going to repeat that. Extension, EXTENSION.MS state.edu.
And there's 2 S's in Mississippi.
That's right. It's MSSTATE. Yeah, so that people don't get that confused. So,
and our convention's name is, like I said before, it is Blooms, Blues, and Barbecue, and they can pull that up on Facebook.
You need a lot of volunteers for that, too.
Well, we've got the volunteers. They're our Master Gardeners.
Yeah.
But it is going to be a big event because we're expecting over 200 people to come from other parts of the state.
So what are you looking for from here today to get people's attention for?
That people that might want to attend,
right,
might want to be vendors.
Sure.
And the vendor space is for by a 10 by 10 is $75.
Right.
Garden oriented. And then the other thing is we have sponsors.
Okay.
And the sponsors help pay for our facilities, our program.
Yeah.
and our convention, because we do have to raise money through this.
Sure,
That's one of the things the state wants from us.
Absolutely. So they have requirements too because of the money they put involved in building this thing and stuff. I get that. Like that's the thing. If you ever take state money, son, there's consequences. They're going to make you. And I don't care who you are. You
Federal
could be.
Money, state money,
man, they have requirements. Yeah, and unfortunately, they don't just give it and say, okay, do whatever you want to. You know what I mean? They have requirements, and sometimes good, sometimes bad. You know what I mean? It just depends on the oversight committee, I suppose. But however, we're where we're at because of them and our local leaders that built this amazing facility that we're talking about today. And man, I just wish y'all huge success. And I'm going to try to come to as much as I can and promote it on the show. Anytime you got something coming up, by the way, and look, not a real-time radio show or anything, so it's not live, so it might take a couple of weeks. So be forth-thinking,
I got you.
going on. So,
well, I mean, you go to the DeSoto County website.
That's right.
DeSotoCountyMS.gov, and you pull it up. It's where you go find your taxes and everything else, but it also has an Ag Center.
Yes.
You click on that, and it'll tell you what our upcoming events are. You can reach out to Nikki. I'm going to give you Nikki Scoggins. She's our coordinator. If you want to rent a space or rent a kitchen, if you want to do something, reach out to her. We even have classrooms.
Yes.
You can have a conference or a classroom.
I can't wait to see this facility.
You can
Me and you are going over today. You're going to give me a tour.
You show up. You have to see what's going on right now.
I want to see what's happening today. I want to see the rooms available. I want to see the opportunity, because if I can put eyes on it, I can help promote it.
Well, I'll be there till probably 11 o'clock tonight.
Well, I won't be there that late. I plan on coming right after the show, and we're going to get a Coke, and we're going to walk around and look at everything.
I'm telling you, you're going to go, wow.
That is going to be cool.
It's going to be good.
And it's a beautiful place to have a convention. If you're thinking about having a convention in the county.
Yeah.
It is a rural-like setting, but boy, is it beautiful.
Absolutely. And it can be turned into whatever facility you need.
That's right.
Yeah, like we talked about that. Yeah. Like they can turn it into a hard floor, in the arena. So that's awesome too. And the website you were talking about with the Gigi LoSapio at yahoo.com. You are a Gigi.
I am.
My mother was a Gigi.
Because my husband didn't understand taking care of twins, and when he'd come to visit, he thought he could lay down on the sofa and so he'd call me Grumpy Grandma.
There you go, Gigi.
Gigi. That was my mom's call letters too. So, obviously the name of our Fancy Nancy Foundation was after her. So,
oh really?
Yeah, that's why we call
sweet.
that. Yeah, well, she's the one who got us involved in all this stuff.
Wow.
Without her,
mom does that.
They do. Gigi's do that.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. So, thank y'all for coming in today. And also, I'm going to say these two things real quick. We had Gigi LoSapio, LoSapio, at yahoo.com, and then we have Michael Lee, which is M. Lee at DeSoto County, Mississippi, which is ms.com.
Right.
All right. So it's it's M. Lee, Lee, at DeSoto County, ms.com. It's going to reach him about anything to do with the Agri Center.
Director.
You're the Ag Director.
I'm the director of the facility.
I should have said that in the early part.
Yeah, well, I mean.
And he's out there all the time, and you can find him with his hat on.
With his show him the cowboy hat, man.
There it is right there.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's a nice hat, by the way. How many beaver is that thing?
I think this is a 10X.
10X. That's pretty decent. That's pretty decent. Yeah, I
have every color, so
and a straw one. He's probably got straw ones too. I don't know. Remember if I saw him.
I think when you live the life.
I don't go without my hat.
Yeah. Right. That's the thing, man.
I've got a Stetson when I do my auctions. Black Stetson.
Black Stetson.
Oh, yeah.
So give us a little auctioneer stuff real quick.
$25 better now, but you get 30. $30 better now, but you get 30 now, 35, but you get 35 better moment. I got it right there. Yep.
We're going to have you on. We're going to have to do a whole auctioneer show with you, Michael.
We can make it happen, I'm telling you.
And you got this cool story about Jerry Lee Lewis. I bet we could talk stories all day long.
We talk hours and hours of that.
Because if people don't know, he was the, what'd you call it?
I was the bodyguard and road manager for
Jerry Lee Lewis. For how many years?
17.
17 years,
did 2 Europe tours with him, traveled all over the United States. And let me tell you this, and I brag on myself, okay?
Yeah.
I met the $1 Million Quartet.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so I met Elvis Presley in Hernando, Mississippi when I was 8 years old. My daddy was a barber in Hernando. The building that's missing on the town square in Hernando, that empty lot where the funeral parking is, that used to be the Lee, Leigh building.
Okay.
Bob Lee, his family. Yeah. And my daddy's barbershop was right on the corner, and he saw Elvis pull down to the Ford dealership, He said, that's Elvis Presley. It was on a Saturday. It was packed.
Right.
You know, Elvis owned the ranch and walls.
That's right.
And that's what he was doing. He was looking at some Ford pickup trucks for the ranch.
Like the little rancheros.
Yeah.
I remember that. He was big into those.
So we went down. Daddy said, come on, Michael. I was 8 years old. We went down there, and he stood there. There was Elvis standing there with the guy who was in the car with him and probably a salesman. It wasn't Mr. Instringen. And he had his back to us, and I remember. Of course, I could talk to anybody. You know, I was shining shoes. That's what I did in the barbershop. I was shining shoes. So I talked to all these men. I knew them all.
Yeah.
And he said, Elvis Presley. And he turned around and he said, yes, sir. He said, Wayne Lee from Tupelo, Mississippi. He said, well, hello, Wayne Lee from Tupelo, Mississippi. And the conversation, he asked me how old I was, how many brothers and sisters I was. And this is exactly what he said. He said, Mr. Lee, I know you know where I live. He said, you bring your family up here anytime you want to and go swimming because nobody ever uses that swimming pool.
Wow.
He sure did. Of course, we didn't.
No.
But
be a cool
when
story if you did.
fast forward, I've met, of course, I worked for Jerry.
Yeah.
And then I met Elvis, Jerry. I met Carl Perkins.
Man, that's amazing.
At Dollywood. We did a show in Dollywood. And I've also met Johnny Cash. We did a thing. I sat in a room just like we are right now with Johnny Cash and Jerry, and I was a fly on the wall listening.
Man, that's amazing stuff.
And there's a statue of Jerry Lee Lewis in front of Lucky Dog.
That's right.
Inside on Square.
That's right.
And playing the piano with his foot.
With his feet.
Yep. I've seen him do it.
Yeah. Man, that's an amazing story. We got a lot of cool culture around here. We could have, Michael, we may have to have you come back and we just do a show on stories.
Let's do that.
Yeah, it just be kind of like the history of Michael Lee.
Well, I wrestled Memphis on TV5. I did that with Jerry Lawler and them for a little while.
So,
a lot of people know that too.
So you probably know my buddy Downtown Bruno.
Oh, I know Bruno well.
Yeah. So he's
you want to talk to him? Let's get him on the phone.
We've Bruno, and I didn't even know he was in that world because I'm not like from here originally. Yeah. So like I knew Bruno, just local guy in Walls. Like I lived down there, so I got to know him that way. And then one day, I tell the story all the time. Like I was in Old School Hot Wings, and I just went up there to get some food for lunch, and I look up on the wall, and there's a picture of Bruno, and I was like, "Why you got a picture of Bruno?" He's like, "Man, Bruno's a local celebrity," and I'm like, "Why?"
Mama says it be that way.
Yeah, but I didn't know that. So and I'm like, so I went back and I'm like, Bruno. He said, "Well, man, hell, I thought everybody knew us when I did."
Man, he was Memphis wrestling, then WWE.
He's got a long history of that.
Yeah, and he worked for the McMahons and everything.
Yeah, man, and very good friends with probably the most famous actor in the world.
Truck.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
I've got a picture of me and The Rock talking. We went up. Jerry Lee and I went to the Pyramid, and we carried his son up there, and The Rock, matter of fact, said Jerry Lee Lewis's name. He said he came to Memphis. He couldn't come to Memphis without talking to the killer.
That's right.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
That's pretty cool, man.
It was neat.
So like I said, it goes back to like this real rich history of just like how, I guess, interconnected a lot of people are. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Here's a lesson, and I tell this all the time. I shine shoes in the barbershop. Okay, and 8 years old, Harvey, he stayed on the farm. My brother did because he had to do those chores, and he didn't want to go up there and shine shoes and stay all day. And I made money, so it didn't bother me, but I had to sweep and clean, do all that good stuff. And every Saturday, my daddy would go, "Boy, you know what time it is?" And I'd always, the clock's behind me.
Yeah.
On the shoe shine stand, and it was Memphis wrestling.
Oh, my God.
And he had a little black and white TV, and every man in that barbershop didn't leave as long as wrestling was on. We watched wrestling, Jerry Lawler and all that, and I was a kid.
Right.
And then, I'm a barber, too. I'm a licensed cosmetologist and barber.
Wow.
I cut hair on my own shop here in Hernando.
I need a little trim, bro.
I cut my first head of hair when I was 12 years old in the barbershop. So fast forward. So be careful what your kids get into, because not only did I become a barber and I became a professional wrestler.
Oh, wow.
And I traveled the tour with Jerry Lawler. As a matter of fact, I wrestled for the Southern Tag Team belts and everything.
That's crazy, man. I didn't know any of this. And here's the thing. If any reason you got to go to the DeSoto County Agri-Education Center now is to meet Michael Lee, which come to find out he's world renowned.
There you go.
And you knew what car they drove.
I did.
And you knew if anybody was in trouble.
That's right.
Oh, my goodness, man. It's crazy.
Good
deal. And then you were a cop, local officer for a long time.
I was with the Sheriff's Department for years.
Wow.
And
awesome.
I was assistant chief for James Albert. And,
my goodness,
chief
man.
investigator.
Lots of history here, Michael.
It is. I can tell you about Hernando. That's
Are
what we
you
need
97?
Hey, you think I lived a
You've lived a pretty long life.
Well, actually, I thought it'd take me a lot longer to get here than it did. I'm here already,
I know.
So.
Oh, man, it's amazing. We're going to have you back just on the stories of Michael Lee. That's what we have to do. So, but thank you guys for coming in today. Guys, look up in the show notes about how to contact them. You've heard the .coms, phone numbers, etc. Reach out. Go out and enjoy this program, this amazing facility that our county leaders have provided for us, and we're working, and we got to make this thing successful. It's going to be. I've got no doubt in my mind, but it can't be done without you. So you got to go out and participate. and look for events coming up. Go to their websites. I'm sure you are going to be really on top of promoting things throughout Facebook and making people aware of what's going on. And just support them, man. Go out. It doesn't matter what it is. And if you live in like a very, very non-rural area, like the inner workings of Horn Lake or South Haven or Olive Branch, to where you just don't see a lot of livestock and things of that nature, bring your kids down. Enjoy some country living, so to speak, in a way, because you're going to get to learn a little bit about how to raise plants and food and flowers and also animals. Yeah, and that's what we're after.
And it's your facility. Trails.
And it's your facility. At the end of the day, that's what your tax dollars are going towards building.
But you can't fish.
Not yet.
Not yet. And not without permission, by the way.
We'll make sure.
So we're going to be clear on that. You need permission to get on that lake. I'm just telling you that right now. Yeah. And don't bring your hunting rifle when you're walking the trails, please. That's not another thing.
There's deer up there.
Oh, I know. And they got cameras, folks. So don't be doing that stuff.
Bow and arrows either.
Yeah, or bow and arrows. None of that stuff. This is purely for enjoyment of luxury,
nature,
relaxation, nature, enjoying the flowers and trees and all that stuff. So, but anyway, man, I could talk to you all day. This is a good time. I really appreciate both of you coming on. Miss Kathleen, I know that you're really the boss of that family. So
thank you.
Don't ever, ever, ever doubt that. Yeah. And Michael, your stories are amazing. And I look forward to working with you both in the future. And again, guys, till next time. Bye.